And this is Dr. Jack Barnathan with my good friend Danny Beasley. Danny, it's great to see you tonight, pal.
Hey, Dr. Jack, how are you?
Outstanding.
Yes,
Outstanding.
sir.
Danny, new study talking
Mhm.
about how physical activity, fitness, which for years people have argued about what is runner's high and do you really get a high from it and things like that. Well, physical activity opens up the same brain waves that deep prayer or meditation can bring us to, which is pretty
Mm,
wild to me, pretty wild.
mm,
And I think it's something that I've always hoped to see like a bridge form between
right.
physical activity, transformation that way, and spirit growth, transformation.
Mm,
Especially when I taught for all those years, and as we've I was sharing with you earlier, too many people, including a couple of great training partners, great
mm.
people. But every time they got in the gym, it was like, gotta put my anger into it. And then they dropped the damn weight on their foot. It was
Right,
like
right, right,
every time the form would go.
right.
Tell me your thoughts on this study and the idea of maybe that bridge, so to speak, or is there a bridge? How you see it?
Well, first, it's pretty interesting, right? That they are discovering the correlation. Personally, Dr. Jack, I don't. I can understand the science that they see that the brain waves are similar to being in a state of prayer. I mean, I can understand that. Um, and I don't see anything wrong. Of course, our body does amazing things when we're really in tune to what it is we're doing. I think it's more, I would think it's more of the oneness of you and your body coming at a particular place that kind of puts you in that state. I would think. I don't know all the details of the study, but you know, when you throw that word prayer in there, though, that's the only hiccup that I would have. So maybe physically you could see a thing, but prayer is more of a communication thing. So it's almost like you get there and you're holding the phone, but are you plugged in? What are you connected? What are you connected to? So it's great, man, that you can get to the place where you're holding the phone, but when they go over to the prayer side, you got to make sure you got some type of cord connected to the phone. So physically, if you're holding the phone in the neurological sense, hey man, that's fantastic, and keep going. Like I
Right.
said, the body. The interesting part though, Dr. Jack, it was funny about when you say that, and I thought about a scripture that says the body actually profits little. You know,
Hmm.
in other words,
Wow.
is putting it is putting it in a comparison sense of all the physical stuff that we do and all of the attention we put on this body, right?
Yep.
Although it's massively important because this is the tent that we dwell in that
Yep.
that helps us reside in this earth, but it actually says it profits little, meaning like we could have the greatest specimen, of a body that ever lived, and it profits you nothing when it comes to greater questions that need to be answered in your
Yeah.
life. So when you say that, I took it with a grain of salt, meaning like, hey, that's great, man, that you got up to the connection point, but you know now the focus should be on, now that your body is in this awesome condition, you know, what does it connect to? So there's another level of life that I would hope people venture out to go seek, because I see a lot of people. Let me tell you something, Doc Jack. So many people spend all their time trying to preserve life, but at the end of the day, life is going to end. And
Yep.
you see people jog and all that, and what they're jogging for is trying to put off that death word at some point. So, and that's my point, I think, with the whole study. I hate to take it off in a whole different area, but the study is great, Dr. Jack. I mean, I think it's fascinating that you get set up that way. But I always want to take people that I talk to or clients of mine to a different level than just becoming so, you know, focused on just your body. You got to, that's great, but you got to, there's so much more to life that's on different levels, different planes that we got to learn how
Yeah.
to access and make that more important than just the physical part,
I hear you, Danny. I'm like I think maybe I was a little naive with it, or at least with me. It was like in the time in my life when I was training powerlifting and going really intense. For me, it was always, and I was practicing and I was a
Mhm.
chiropractor and I wasn't always doing the best form, and at least I admit it. Chiropractor being,
Yeah,
going a little too heavier than I should have. But for
right.
me, it was almost like every rep was like, I want to make myself better. So tomorrow I go in the office and I'm stronger. And
Yeah,
like almost like that's where my affirmation or prayer for the
yeah,
workout, for
yeah.
my reps. It wasn't just like I need bigger biceps. I need bigger biceps.
Right, right,
It
right, right,
was
right.
like, uh, I had all these affirmations from Norman Vincent Peale, and even, going every day, every way, better and better and better.
Yeah,
And I guess I see totally what you're saying, and I think I agree. It's a big mistake if people think, well, they don't need anything else. They could just like, oh, I go to the gym, and I've heard that a lot the last few years. I go to the
yeah.
gym and that's my church. Well, okay.
Right, right.
It's all right, you got to go in somewhere else.
Yeah.
Totally with you with that, Danny. And yeah, I hear you didn't break my heart. I'm not going to start crying.
Uh,
But
but I will throw this back out there, Dr. Jack, and just following up what you just said there. Now bring it back home and what, because you really clarified it in a sense for me too. I do believe what you just described is the power of that now moment, like where you're completely there. A great movie that for people to check out is called God, just Nick Nolte's movie. You remember the Olympic
oh,
guy? He was practicing for the Olympics.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
just left my mind. I can't remember the daggone movie. Nick Nolte though, it was called
What the
anyway. But he in the movie they would really
Peaceful
talk.
Warrior?
The Peaceful Warrior.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Awesome, awesome movie for exactly what you're just saying, because the Peaceful Warrior really amplifies the power of now. Like nothing else matters except that rep.
Yeah,
Nothing else matters. Now that is a power that is awesome.
yeah.
And from that perspective, I can really see how neurologically everything is in alignment because you're right there in the moment in your now space. Nick Nolte, The Peaceful Warrior is an awesome movie to go check out for that very reason, Dr. Jack. Yep, you hit it. You hit it.
Wow, wow, Danny, that's so cool. This is so cool. And yeah, in that moment, I love it. Well, we're in that moment right now, I think. I feel that. Everyone, get on Danny's page, O3G underscore citizen. Get in the conversation with my good friend. You're going to be seeing us doing lectures together soon, and a lot of exciting things. Thank you so much, Danny.
All right, Dr. Jack. Take care.